the We Wreck Records podcast.
How's it going, everybody? This is Chris Enriquez of New Noise Magazine. Thanks for tuning in to We Wreck Records podcast. Today's guest is William Goldsmith, who is easily one of the most influential drummers of the 90s. I mean, the guy's resume is unbelievable. He's a founding member of Sunny Day Real Estate, who are often credited as the godfathers of emo.
We were kids that played in hardcore bands that started experimenting with storytelling as opposed to protest.
I mean, sure, there was Rites of Spring, Embrace, and Fugazi, but if you listen to any Midwest emo band like American Football or Promise Ring or Braid, even contemporary bands like Paramore who have covered Sunny Day Real Estate, or Taking Back Sunday or My Chemical Romance, and even bands today like Arm's Length or Anxious, their influence is obvious and undeniable. You know, Sunny Day Real Estate are back in action. They even have had a few singles, and you know, they've been touring a ton. The album Diary, which came out on Sub Pop in 1994, changed the lives of many, including mine.
I didn't realize it at the time, but I was a kid still, you know? Yeah. I mean, when we were doing Sunny Day, we were kids.
I was in a band called On the Might of Princes. I'm a drummer myself, and I gotta say, I have ripped off this guy's drumming for decades. It's beyond emotive, it's powerful, it's energetic. The blood, sweat, and tears, and even injuries this guy has incurred are from pure emotion. And if that's not enough, he was the first drummer for the Foo Fighters.
I was still a kid when I was doing the Foo Fighters, and it was surreal. It was like a tornado. It was 17 months on the road, and it was like an onslaught. It was an assault on the senses.
Check out his new band Assertion on Spartan Records.
I'm really happy with the Assertion record. Like, for me personally, that's like the best that I've been a part of. The best thing as far as like really like organic, authentic, like human expression.
And everything else he has going on with Sunny Day, past, present, and future.
Hey everyone, welcome to We Wreck Records, a new show all about getting wrists deep, elbows deep into music that matters. Today we have William Goldsmith of Assertion, Sunny Day Real Estate, and Foo Fighters. He is here to talk about Assertion's new album, Basking in the Gaslight. Welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You're in Sunny Day Real Estate. You still are in Sunny Day Real Estate.
Yes.
You guys were kind of known as one of the early emo bands. What does that word mean to you? Did that music kind of, and how did you want people to feel? Is it a ridiculous term?
So the first time I heard that word used, it was at a hardcore show, and I heard somebody, I don't know if I even knew who it was. I just overheard them say, "Look at that fucking emo kid over there." And they were making fun of this kid that was kind of like in front of everybody, screaming the lyrics and crying in front of the band, and sort of like, "Look at me," kind of a thing. That's the first time I heard that word. So, but and then later I learned that it was it originated in an article. I don't remember by who, but it was about Rites of Spring, I think, at the time, and they referred to them as that. But when they started coming out and saying that we were like an emo band, I was like, whoa, who's an emo band? You know, like, what are you talking about? It's not a genre, you know. It's just first time I heard it was an insult. So, you know, but you know, they're just songs. You know what I mean? They're just songs. You know, it's like we were kids that played in hardcore bands that started experimenting with storytelling as opposed to protest. You know, and
that's a beautiful way of summing it up.
Yeah, that's the best way I can really think of as how to describe it. But like, and leaving more space as opposed to like just, you know, no space at all, you know, and melody, you know, and actual singing that was like unheard of in the hardcore scene. But like Fugazi was a huge inspiration. Shudder to Think also gave us a lot of courage. We were like, okay, you know, look at what they're doing, you know, and they're on Discord, you know what I mean? So it's like, we can do this, you know, we can have songs and melody and singing. Let's give it a shot. So, you know, yeah. But I mean, Dan and Nate and I originally started the band, and Jeremy had moved away. Jeremy and I've known him since he was 14 and I was 16, but and we played in a hardcore band together. But he moved away, he came back, and then he started kind of opening up for Sunny Day, like at shows just acoustically, you know. And then eventually, you know, we absorbed him into the band. So yeah.
You got to absorb people into the band sometimes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, we were, you know, I was like, Jeremy can sing really well, you know, and Dan was doing a very good job. He was doing his best, but we couldn't find a singer. So it was just the thing where we just, Dan sang, because we couldn't find one. And he did a good job though.
This show is proudly presented by DistroKid, and we have a special deal for all the musicians out there looking to release their new music fast. DistroKid helps over 2 million musicians around the world release on all major music streaming platforms and YouTube. You keep 100% of your earnings, consumes a huge range of features, and if you like this show, support this show by taking advantage of this incredible offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid. Just head to distrokid.com/VIP/WeWreckRecords. This show is presented by Grillo's Pickles. Grillo's Pickles make the freshest, crunchiest, most delicious pickles. And even if you're not a pickle fan, you should try Grillo's today. Why not? Live a little. You can find them in the refrigerated section of your local grocery store, so chill out and eat a pickle. This month's episodes of We Wreck Records are brought to you by Earpiece, the high-fidelity earplug brand designed to enhance your experience of live music. Their lightweight, triple-patented design basically conforms to the natural shape of your ear canal, which is awesome. And it's the closest thing to custom-molded without the price tag, or the chronic fear that you're going to lose them. Your future self who wants to listen to live music when you're old will thank you. For 15% off your next pair of earplugs, head to earpiece.com/pages/WWR podcast. We'll put the link in the description. Definitely suss it out. What makes great vocals to you?
Like for me, like one of the perfect singers for like modern music that I had first come across was like Kurt Cobain, like Nirvana. Like that's you know what I mean? Like everything that he did just was the right choice and just timeless, tasteful, really well done. They were such a great band. And you know it when you hear it, I guess.
You do. Yeah, I mean, Kurt Cobain's a great example. I mean, he's one of the greatest melody writers of a generation.
Absolutely.
Several generations.
100%. Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
Just briefly touching on that, I mean, you guys, you made 2 albums with Sunny Day Real Estate, and then you went to Foo Fighters in '95, just after Kurt died, to be the drummer from Nirvana's band. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so I mean, maybe I didn't realize it at the time, but I was a kid still,
Yeah.
I mean, when we were doing Sunny Day, we were kids, and I mean, I was still a kid when I was doing the Foo Fighters, and it was surreal. It was like a tornado. It was 17 months on the road, and it was like an onslaught. It was an assault on the senses, and a bit of a blur.
Yeah.
It was a long time to be on the road when you're that young, and you don't have a sense of who you are yet. Your feet aren't quite on the ground, and you're never surrounded by anything that's a reflection of who you are really. For that long. I started to lose my sense of self for sure.
That'd be gaslighting, wouldn't it? There's got to be some of this.
No, that's just being a kid and not ever being surrounded by anything that's a reflection of who you are and losing your sense of self and touring for that long. Yeah, when you were a kid, did you ever do a silly thing like say a word over and over again till it stopped making sense or anything like that? Okay, all right. That happened to those songs. I played them so many times, so many shows that I literally just started going like, what I don't know what is happening. What am I doing?
Is this even real?
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah.
You just did Diary live at London Studio, which is a Sunny Day debut album. That tracks all at once. That's a good all at once record.
Oh yeah, we did it really fast. Yeah, you talking about the original one or the new one with the new song?
Which one? Yeah,
we did the live at London Bridge one.
Yeah,
yeah, we did that super fast. We did it in like 7 days. It was just like bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like starting? Like, were you as in love with kind of that kind of storytelling back in '94 when you were like working on that to now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Have you always been like this?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. To me, yeah, it's like absolutely. Yeah, it's like documenting the human experience through music is the thing. That's my passion. But yeah, when we originally recorded Diary, I mean, I was what, 20?
Oh yeah,
I think. so I mean, I literally was a kid, and then Jeremy was I think 18,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then Dan and Nate were a couple years older than me, but so they were big, they were adults. So, but yeah, we were terrified. We were really, really nervous the whole time, and but yeah, we toured out there, and then yeah, it was scary, we were totally nervous. I was anyway.
Yeah, but you survived.
Oh yeah,
You're still goddamn doing it.
Oh yeah, well, I stopped for a while.
Yeah.
I stopped for 9 years, and I kind of like it was kind of like committing suicide without dying. I literally didn't exist to anyone anymore. I completely disappeared off the face of the earth. I just walked away from music. I didn't listen to music for 9 years. I couldn't even, if I accidentally heard music at a gas station, I would have this sinking feeling, and I would just like get out of there as soon as possible. And had started this fatherhood thing, and which is
this thing.
Yeah, which is amazing. I mean, the kids are like absolutely everything in the world to me, and but then I met Justin, and he had a band with his kids called Pig Snout, and
Pig Snout.
They're really good, really, really good. Yeah, if you go on YouTube and search up Pig Snout Guitar Trap, and there's a music video, it'll blow you away. It's amazing.
We can I'll put it up on YouTube.
Yeah, it's the most adorable thing you've ever seen, and it's really good. I was like, wow, this guy's got a really cool voice. And then it made me realize, I was like, wow, look what this guy he's sharing this part of himself with his kids. And then it just hit me like a ton of bricks that I was not sharing that part of myself with my children, and that was a horrible thing. And so then I reached out to Jessa. I was like, hey, maybe we should, I could do like a double drum thing with Dahlia sometime. And then she said no, because it was a family band. But then, which is fine, and I totally respect that. But then, yeah, but the first time that I played drums in 9 years was, actually, that's not true. Justin came over once. He was like, hey, I'm going to bring my guitar and amp over, and we set up and we started playing a little bit, and then right after that, I went over and I jammed with him and Dahlia, and we did a double drum thing, and it was fun. But and then he and I started the Assertion band alongside Pig Snout, adjacent to.
Alongside Pig Snout.
Yeah.
You're really a side project to Pig Snout, like
absolutely.
You're an absolute side quest,
But no, Pig Snout was awesome, and it's really adorable, but it's also really good songs, really well, really well written songs, and really catchy. And so that inspired me to start playing music again, and so I could share that part of myself with the kids.
Yeah, awesome. How old are your kids?
8, 10, and 17.
That is a lot of kid. That's mm-hmm. You're deep in the dad zone. Dad zone. Do they think it's awesome?
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. It's the most challenging thing in the world, but it's the most amazing thing in the world. It's a love that I didn't even know that was possible. So
what's it been like them seeing you do your music stuff?
It's really cool. It's really interesting. It took a long time to make that Assertion record, and they also like then also when Sunny Day started playing again, and this watching them sort of process this thing, and be like, huh. And he's like, my son Logan will be like, he goes on Apple Music or whatever, which God forbid I'm not a fan of, but it is what it is, and he goes and he finds the records, and then he'll like listen to all these different songs, and he'll be like, so that's Jeremy? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, and who's playing drum? I'm like, that's me. And he goes, that's you. I was like, yeah. And he's like, and that's Dan? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that's Chris. I'm like, well, actually, no, that's Nate. but it's a long story. It's complicated. He's not there anymore. But yeah, no, it's really, really cool. And they really like the songs, and what's cool is when we did the Diary Live at London Bridge thing, Logan goes through and he listens to all of it. He's like, skips that one. He's like, 7. He's like, it's really fast. I was like, I know it's too fast. I know, sorry. Oops. We should have done it again. But then he gets to Novum Vetus, and he was like, he likes all the songs. He gets to Novum Vetus, which is the new song that we did on the London Bridge song, and he goes, this is a good song. He's like, this is a good song, you know.
Got the thumbs
it's
up.
cool, and he's hyper honest. So he's on the spectrum, you know. So he's autistic, and so he's, you know, he doesn't mince words. There is no such thing. He cannot tell a lie. He can't, you know.
They're the best creative collaborators. My best creative collaborator is autistic, and I will trust him with my life because he would never. They can't lie. It's great.
Yeah, actually, to backtrack a little bit, Justin. What I first noticed about Justin is I saw that he was teaching drums to autistic kids.
Yeah, right.
And so having an autistic son, I was like, that really caught my attention, you know, and then it just sort of went from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, it's amazing. But Logan can feel every, so like if I'm having a rough show, like, and I'm feeling it, like we played a show in Seattle and I just was like, just having a hell of a time that night. And, you know, and he's like, I could see his head. He goes, looking at me. He's like, he could tell. So I can't hide anything. You ever heard of the telepathy tapes?
No, what's that?
It's this study of kids with autism and their ability to almost
minds.
Yeah, of the specific parents and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's true. Just there's a lot of evidence to the.
That's cool.
To points that way. Yeah, it's really interesting, the telepathy tape.
I've got one of my best friends. I went and spent some time with her and her daughters. She's autistic. We played make believe for 5 hours. I was like, I don't want to be the first one to tap out. I was so pleased they went on screens. I was like, I don't want to be the first one to tap out. And then I realized I would have to be the first one to tap out because we would play make believe till the end of time. So awesome. I love it. I don't know. Yeah, mental health is important.
Yeah, no, it's weird. So now it's like,
sorry to go random. Yeah.
So now so if like, you know, so I'm hyper, like, so I'm you know, I'll never have a show where I get in my head like that again, especially with Logan's there, because I'm like, I don't want to deal with the, you know, because afterwards he was crying, he was upset, he was like, what's wrong? He goes, are you hurt? You know, he's like, is it hurting you? Should you stop doing this? You know, does it hurt you? And I was like, no, dude, just sometimes there's off nights. He goes, well, maybe you should not play drums no more. Don't play drums no more. Because if it's going to hurt you. And I was like, no, it doesn't hurt me. It's okay. It's okay. So it was hard. Yeah. That was the first time I'd ever experienced getting in my head and then having this telepathic son, you know, mind reading son, you know, there to experience the aftermath of it. So but he's experienced a lot of other shows, you know, and he it's a blast. He loves it. You know,
yeah. No, it's awesome. So you and Justin, this is a great musical love story.
Yeah. I mean, we have so much, there's so much material just sitting.
Yeah.
I mean, we have literally an arsenal of stuff that we've come up with that we've written, you know, he'll be going through all stuff and he'll be like, wait, when did we write this? I was like, I have no idea. You know, I'm like, I don't know, but you know, put a little check mark by it and then we'll come back to it. But he, and I mean, he's got hard drives like that say like 605. That's 605 ideas. That's you know, like, I mean, you know, like another hard drive that says like 270 or whatever, you know, it's like, so I'm like, you know, so every now and again, I'll be like, let's listen to what's in there, you know, let's see what ideas are in there. And there's a bunch, you know.
Yeah. That's cool. Well, it's good to have you here. It's really really good album. So Basking in the Gaslight does sound like enjoying having your sense of reality warped by someone and questioning your sanity. Is this an experience you've had?
Both of us, yeah. Unfortunately,
really?
Yeah. We both have, yeah.
That's something. You and Justin?
For sure, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Do you so how does it work with you and Justin? So Justin does a lot of stuff on the album.
Yeah. I mean, he
how do you guys work together? Yeah.
So when we get together, it's like a rapid fire, just like some songs feel like they write themselves. Other songs we literally just will be in a room and we'll just rapid fire back and forth. and then all of a sudden it just starts to take shape, you know. So we write the songs together, except for I would say the last song, Only Forever. I played drums on that, but that song he had. So
that's a really beautiful song.
It really is. Yeah.
That's like,
we did something interesting with that one. We tracked the drums and the cymbals separately.
Yeah, right. Is that a thing?
And yeah. And it's what's interesting is then the cymbals don't sort of interfere with the mics on the drums at all. And then everything is isolated. So it's really open, everything breathes, you know. And then we were like, oh, maybe we should have done that for the whole record, but it really works well for that song. There's a lot of air in that song. So
yeah, I was laying down listening to it the other day, and I was like, oh, this is just like perfect melancholy. I'm gonna feel sad now. I'm gonna want to feel sad. And
yeah, sorry.
no, but I love sad music. It's one of my favorite genres of thing.
Yeah, it's surreal.
What did you like learn from, like, especially from those earlier studio experiences, like that you've brought into making the Assertion, Basking, and the Gaslight record? Like, how do you do things differently?
I mean, it varies, you know, like a lot of the times what I do is I record the songs just to a click without anybody else and without just with the song in my head. And then, you know, we layer and paint it on top of that. But I mean, but it varies, you know. I mean, you know, my main approach is usually like do 3 passes, listen back, you know. That's pretty much usually the way.
You don't mess around.
I mean, you just do 3 passes, listen back and see how which one stands out, you know.
How do you inject playing with emotion, or is it kind of supporting other emotional tools in the music?
That just sort of comes like that's sort of a part of it for me.
Yeah.
Like when I started playing music because I started you know, a lot of people died. A lot of people have died. That happens. It's life, you know. But when I was a kid, like a lot of people died. My sister died and things like that. So those were kind of, music ended up kind of becoming a way of me processing that trauma or grief or whatever. So, and that's just always sort of there, you know. But yeah.
It's a very physical instrument. I feel like the relationship between the mental and the physical is very, very strong. And I think that we forget that sometimes. And sometimes that can be a really good way to process grief or pain or feeling gaslit or whatever. Like, it's a good way to like get physical. Like, I know you guys have been through a lot to make this album. Was that your stuff, or was it Justin's, or everyone's? I mean, COVID was a bit of a bummer for everyone, let's be real.
Well, yeah, the COVID thing. So we finished our first record, and then when the COVID thing happened, we just kept writing and recording as a result. So, you know, we didn't really social distance. We just stayed here and we just kept writing, you know, but we weren't anywhere else. So we weren't infected with anything. Later we were, though. But yeah, after, you know, he left and that wasn't fun. But what was the question again? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You guys went through some stuff.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, Justin, Justin got jumped on the street and got kicked in the face, and it separated his jaw like this. So that took that took a while to recover from. Also, he was touring with Sunny Day, you know, for a while, and we were like, we'll mix on the road, but then it just never happens. You know, it just doesn't happen. There's not time. You're always moving, and you know, you have a day off, and you have the day off. You know, it's like, yeah, it
just hurry up and wait.
Yeah. And then Justin fractured his skull later, and it was a skateboarding accident. He broke his wrist and fractured his skull. He almost died. He had the brain bleed thing, you know, and he collapsed in his kitchen. And so he was in the hospital for a while, and took a while for him to recover from that. So those injuries, long time to recover, you know, and so that definitely made the process longer. And then also Sunny Day being on the road, Justin being with us some of the time.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So,
and Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's pretty much, those are two big reasons. And then also, we didn't track everything at the same time, like with the same mics. Sometimes it was spread out, so we would have different mics, and some mics we borrowed, stuff like that. So it's not like you had a template that you could apply to every single track. He had to basically reinvent the wheel from track to track as far as mixing is concerned. And it's a huge undertaking. So yeah. I mean,
they feel kind of distinctive like that. Like, yeah, you can.
Yeah. That's a nice,
not in a bad way, but like they all kind of have their own space.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, only a couple of them were tracked at the same time, I think. Yeah.
Amygdala hijacking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a bit about what's a story that we wouldn't know about that song.
Well, I mean, it's just that's a little. Justin found that CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, dissociation or whatever. There's been some things that have I don't want to speak for Justin or anything, but there's some things that have had a lasting effect psychologically, so since childhood. So and
for people who don't know, your amygdala is your emotional center.
It's
hijacked when something gets triggered and you basically tap out of rational brain and go straight to lizard brain and just react from your emotional center.
It is.
Which is you basically stop using the neocortex, to my knowledge, and you just go back.
Well, there you go. That's pretty much.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry, I meant.
No, that's great.
I should have explained it.
Yeah. And I mean,
I've
it's
done a lot of
so
studying
much,
in this.
Not okay. Great. Yeah. So it's not so much a song. It's just like he found this thing that he was doing some research online, and he and I have both dealt with that sort of thing because of some things, so that's another thing we unfortunately have in common.
Hey, look, you're not lonely. There's a lot of people out there. I kind of sometimes feel like there are more people who've gone through some real shit than there are who haven't.
Yeah.
And that's why music's really important, especially stuff that does have this. Okay, my favorite song was "Time Won't Keep This." Because of the interplay.
That's so cool.
Because of all the interplay between the instruments. How did you kind of create this kind of dance?
I don't know. It just happened.
This is weird. Silly. How can we talk about music? It just happened.
No, it's weird. It's like because it's different. It's like there'll be a situation where there's a guy will be like, I wrote the song, and then the band played their parts. This was like definitely Justin and I had all the songs, I mean, except for the last one really, but we're all this sort of egoless collaboration, spiritual communication, where you just sort of move until you feel like there's something else collaborating that you can't really see. You know what I mean? And and that song is kind of like that's our mini rock opera, that one. That's it. Because it's basically two songs into one. It's got the sort of like opening.
I'm a dork. I like a rock. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
I want to get, sometimes so I'm saying I like lying down and listening to music and like whole albums all the way through, which is the premise of this show, which is all about albums all the way through. Because they still matter, and it's still good to do, and it's still good to appreciate. You did
my favorite thing. My favorite thing thing in the world is making records. Is like telling these long, stories. Like, it's my favorite thing in the world.
How would you explain the story of this particular one?
Of this song?
This record. Like, what story does it tell what's the narrative?
Survival.
What is the weirdest thing you've hit that made a great drum sound?
The weirdest thing I've hit?
Yeah, that made a great drum sound.
I wouldn't say, I don't know if it's the weirdest thing, but you see that symbol back there?
Yeah.
So that's really, really big. It's like, I think 29, inches, Anyway, it's thin, but that I used to use that. I used that for the Fire Theft, and I used that touring with the Fire Theft, and that was. But it's got a lot of chunks taken out of it now. But we used that on the Assertion record for overdubs. We would basically just set up with a mallet and hit it lightly and then strategically place it. But that's not necessarily weird. Oh, well, over here, there's this like 3,000-year-old drum from China over here that I did some recording with a long time ago, and that was pretty interesting. Yeah, but it's over there. But I don't know if those are necessarily weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows in this world? Yeah.
He's had there's a song called Rain Song on the Rising Tide record, and I played the floor of this giant church from the 1800s with a mallet just going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Drums are fun. I like drums.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
You've played with a lot of different personalities. What's especially in the music, and I hear like those Foo Fighters sessions sounded pretty hectic from the internet.
Yeah.
What's the best piece of unsolicited advice around like some of those moments that you got from another musician?
It all depends on the circumstances.
Okay, pick one.
But,
let's pick some circumstances.
All right. Well, if you're working with Gil Norton, be very careful. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm joking. Learn overall, it's important to be able to play to a click. It's important to be able to have a great meter without a click. It's important to be able to play to a click and still have a natural feeling pocket, inside the click, and breathe.
I think it's good.
Yeah. And try to stay out of your head and just play constantly. Just play constantly. Play if you can. Play every single day if you can.
What was it like getting back into it after 9 years?
Like uphill battle. Shaking off the cobwebs took a couple years to feel like it. My arms would tighten up and stuff. But yeah, no, it took a little while. But
yeah. You made a great record. You're making great music. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with the Assertion record. Like for me personally, that's like it's the best that I've been a part of. The best thing as far as like really like organic, authentic, like human expression.
Yeah.
So
do you feel like being in bigger stuff you get kind of taught like I guess like expectations? Like Sunny Day was a big band as well. Like yeah,
we're the most famous unfamous band in the world. No, I mean expectations. We don't. Justin and I, when we're working on stuff, it's not to try to expectations aren't really in the back of our mind at all. It's more like working on stuff that makes us both go, oh, holy shit. Yeah. Okay.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, just trying to create music that we're like, wow,
yeah,
that's pretty fucking cool.
You're just looking for the wow.
Yeah. Well, looking to like, create great songs and be honest about it, and collaboration. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you're collaborating, when you literally are like, what is this thing, what is it where those 3 quantum physicists went on a train ride and had a conversation, and as a result M theory came out or something like that. It's just amazing what a conversation, a collaboration, and interaction, you could take things to a new level.
It's like, like you make people through other people, and you make music through other people. Like we're not disconnected. Everything happens through someone else. I do think that. I don't think we're separate, and I think that's one of the reasons why music is such a powerful force, because it is born of us losing the barrier and the membrane between each other, like musicians, and then losing the barrier and the membrane between the audience. And I feel like anything where you can lose the barrier is a worthy thing. It's It's big feels. It's an interesting time to be like, you know, like growing up in I'm a bit younger than you, but I still grew up in the land of subculture and all that kind of stuff. And now we live in the
Yeah.
land of the monoculture, which is, you know, like kids, like 20-year-old kids listen to everything at once. There's no time period, there's no allegiance, there's no anything. Not to say that that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's
Yeah.
very interesting to be like, I don't know what it's like as a musician to be producing music where, yeah, the tribes are gone and they used to be
Yeah.
tribes. What do you,
I get it.
what do you think of the whole, the transition as a musician?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm quite, I don't think I was totally aware of the fact that there's but I guess it is because kids get sort of access to everything via the internet. They don't get access to it from going over to their friend's house and hearing a 7-inch, right?
Cool older brother, cool older boyfriend.
Yeah. Or the mixtape that was made by, you know, Henry Rollins or Ian MacKaye or whatever, you know, like, that's interesting. You know, I will say that, one of my favorite things to do is to go on, when we go on long car rides and put on music and just like sit back and just kind of feel the kids being like, what is this? You know, I listen to Hunky Dory. I put on Hunky Dory and like my daughter Araya's like looking at the phone. You're like, you know, like I've never heard anything like this, you know. But yeah, so my kids have great taste in music, I think. My son Logan is obsessed with Gary Newman. So, and he loves Gary Newman. Like he's just constantly like his favorite song is Down in the Park. And actually that's my favorite song too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I introduced him. Yeah. I introduced him to him, but he really, really dove in, you know, and he's like just Gary Newman, you know.
Well, Gen Z have Gen X parents. That's why they've got cool taste.
Oh yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
yeah.
You know, like that's just facts. Growing up with
they never complain about anything that I put on. Let's put it
really.
That way, you know?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I think they're more open-minded because they don't have their own culture, so they have to steal from the past.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The world right now is crazy. I feel like
yes, it is.
I like basking in the gaslight and from like a macro perspective as well, because I feel like we get gaslit a lot by like the powers that be in media and social media and the world. Yeah. Did you guys ever think about like the macro side of that?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah. Although this record was more kind of a little bit more focused on the micro, but yeah, that's definitely on the that's definitely in the background for sure.
Yeah. How do you find?
You just don't want to speak about it openly. You don't want to get struck by lightning.
Yeah. It's a weird ass world, man. It is. I don't know. I'm grateful for music. I'm glad people are doing it.
Because me too.
The drive is why do you make music? Why do you play drums?
I don't, at the risk of sounding redundant, to document the human experience.
So your experience?
Well, collaboratively, you know, but my experience, but collectively, the experience of the band that, you know,
and be be a steward of the beat.
Oh yeah, well, be a collaborative, element in the writing process, in the air sculpture, you know.
The air sculpture. So, I like
documenting
the human experience. Do you look back on any of your things that you think are particularly vivid in doing that, or like any of the records you've worked on that you feel are like wildly vivid about the human experience, or are they all kind of like that?
I would say they're all like that. I mean, I mean, they were all a snapshot of that moment in time. You know what I mean?
How would you describe this moment in time, the Assertion one?
Inspired.
Yeah?
For sure. Yeah. It was definitely inspired. Yeah. We were very inspired. You know, we were wanting to create songs that were, you know, that meant a lot to us, you know, that when we listened to it, we'd be like, you know, yeah, we would feel it. We don't, we don't ride around or sit around listening to the records all the time. But I mean, it's like listening back when you're working on a mix and being like, wow, I'm happy with that. So
yeah, it's poetic.
But yeah, the difference now really is like, for years and years, I was just like this, I mean, kind of like punk rock drummer, hardcore drummer. And then, I would just play whenever the band would play, that's when I would play. And the difference now is I play every day by myself, and I'm constantly working on trying to evolve and actually refine my own instrument to the best of my ability. So I'm actually trying to become a better player, and I'm working very hard at it. So that's the difference. Before I was just like, I play when the band plays, I'm playing, I play the music. I'm not a drummer or whatever. Now I'm a drummer, and I want to be a better drummer. So
that's cool. Well, it's something very long game glorious about learning an instrument, where you're never going to stroll in and become a different person. It's all incremental, like tiny changes.
Oh, never ends. Yeah.
I was talking to my teacher.
It's never going to end.
My singing teacher is just like, the goalposts will just keep shifting. It's just, you're never going to get there. You're never going to get there ever.
Yeah.
So just that. Like,
but you are going to evolve, you are going to evolve. And sometimes it's hard to see it in the moment,
What would you tell like 15-year-old William about what was going to happen in the future times?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I wouldn't, somebody asked me once if I had any regrets, and I'd be like, well, no, because the bumpiest road led to my kids. So I don't want to change anything about that. But, I would say, I would tell myself, go get into therapy right now and try to figure out a way to get a handle on your anxiety. That's what I would say.
Yeah, man. Mental health is big.
Yeah. I had panic disorder.
Oh, really? Yeah,
I was diagnosed with it. Yeah. And it was, I would go to the hospital. This is when I was younger, and I would go to the hospital and thinking that my lungs were collapsing. I would have all these like tests where you drink this chalk and they would take these pictures. Then there was this thing where they gave me a drug where it erased my memory because I had to go in and have these cameras stuck down my throat.
Yeah.
All of these things done. And then finally this doctor came in with this big packet and he slams it on the table and he's like, I'm really sorry that it took so long to figure this out, but you need a different kind of doctor. You have panic disorder. You
wow.
have horrific anxiety. And so, yeah.
If Basking the Gaslight was a movie, what would it be?
Blade Runner. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not sure. I just love Blade Runner.
Yeah.
No. I'd say Replicas is probably or maybe Pleasure Principle. I don't know. Yeah. Gary Newman, it's, kind of like the Blade Runner of music in a way. To me, and I mean that in the best way. I have no idea.
It's an absurd question. What would
the last half of Goodfellas? No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know. I have no idea. No, I it's hard to say.
No, it's kind of absurd. That's on me.
Wings of Desire. No, I'm not sure.
There's what do you think what are the three most fundamental truths to you as a drummer that you kind of return to? Talking about gaslighting, and what do you think? What's the three most important things that are truest to you about music and the experience and all that kind of stuff?
Honestly, express yourself honestly. Like honestly express yourself. Don't be an asshole, and try to stay out of your head.
Yeah, that's a good. Those are three.
Try to your brain is a secondary organ kind of thing, and sometimes can take take over the wheel and thinks it's in charge when really it's just it's making unnecessary noise, and the secret in the center is probably really the boss. And so listen to that, if you can't stop thinking, become aware of your hands, like without looking at them, like just feel your hands existing, or just your feet or something, anything like that. Just feel the existence and aliveness of a part of your body. And next thing you know, you're not thinking. So that's a kind of a trick.
That's kind of awesome.
Not that I'm not good at that, by the way. I'm still struggle with it, but
that's awesome.
Say that,
It's awesome. I think it's I think I'm going to take that on board.
Yeah. And if possible, play every single, if possible, try to play every single day or as much as humanly possible. And even work on things that are outside of your comfort zone.
Well, you came back and you made something really great. Assertion, Basking in the Gaslight is a great album.
Yeah, I want to make more music, you know, with everything that I'm working on. So
yeah,
you know,
awesome.
What happens? Yeah.
Cool, man. Well,
thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you on the show. This is We Wreck Records. This is William Goldsmith. He has a new album with Assertion called Basking in the Gaslight. So may the dark forces be with you.